everyone, it's Christina Carmona with Indie Cinema Showcase. Welcome to MegaCon 2013. Artix from Artix Entertainment, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure, we're an indie video game studio from here in Florida. We create online web-based video games for our millions of online players. Our most popular game is Adventure Quest Worlds at aq.com.
So what are you dressed up as?
I'm dressed up as the character Artix from the game Adventure Quest.
So how long did it take to make this?
Worked on this for 3 weekends, and it has taken some serious battle damage. I'm duct taped together and super glued, so I think we're going to be making a new one for the next con.
That's all right, it looks really great. Have you enjoyed your time seeing other people?
Oh my God, yeah. The amount of time and effort everyone's putting in their costumes, how happy and friendly everyone here is a geek paradise.
Behind me we have Tom Mumm and Terry Cronin, and we're here to check out some of their latest projects. So let's see what they have to say.
I've been making movies and films for over 20 years now. I got my start shooting rocket launches at the Cape, and in my day job I started doing reality shows back in the early 2000s, and that's mainly what I do. Work on Ghost Hunters International and Comic Book Man and shows like that. So I mostly travel for work, but I love still living in Florida and not having to move to New York or LA, because I like raising my children in an environment more like this as opposed to a crazy environment like that, and I also really enjoy my mortgage. Currently, we've branched out for movies, and we're making a comic book called The Accelerators. It was inspired by the work that I've been doing on a show called Comic Book Man as a crew member. Just being around that environment on Comic Book Man has inspired the crew to make their own comic book. So we have a writer, and we hired a couple of artists, and we started from ground zero. We knew nothing about making a comic book, but we're like, hey, how hard could it be? And then we realized, wow, it's actually really hard. And here we are 9 months later, and we got into Diamond Comic Distributors, which is the #1 distributor of comic books in the world. And we released our first issue May 22nd. And it's a time travel story where the hook is that the time travel devices can only go forward. They can never go backwards.
I actually started making films in college, and then I went to medical school and did a bunch of whole other things in my life. And I got back into making films in 1999. And I made a movie called Under the Bridge about these homeless people who lived under the Melbourne Causeway who were being attacked by trolls. And it was a horror movie and a great learning experience for me. Students of the Unusual is a horror adventure series. All the stories are basically set in Florida, and we like to tell little stories about some of the monsters and legends of Florida, like the Florida skunk ape and the Merritt Island dragon, and it sort of weaves a story about a community that's being infiltrated by evil forces and how the people in the community are going to band together to stop this. And there's a little mystery and intrigue built in there, and I always hope that you would learn something, like you would read this comic and you would learn something about legends or something about life in Florida that you might not get or expect to get in a comic book. But we've got a strong filmmaking community here in Central Florida, and it's a great location. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I think Florida is the future of filmmaking in many ways.
All right, everyone, I am here with Trent Duncan. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I'm a local filmmaker here in Orlando. I grew up around here, then I ventured off, went into the military for a few years, lived out in California for a little while, and I came back. I do some films locally. We have a few fan films that me and my buddy back here created. This is why I have Jason Voorhees standing behind me.
You're pretty safe with that.
If he's on your side, yes. If he's after you, not so much. But we've created a few fan films, and Cheyenne Hess here from Always in Armor Entertainment. He does some events with his costumes that he has. He also has Boba Fett and Stormtrooper as well, too. But he's been nice enough to star in my fan films for me, and we've created a few: Jason vs. Leatherface, Freddy vs. Jason vs. Ash. You know, some fun stuff to entertain the fans for these kind of events.
Very nice. So I know that you have a film boot camp online.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for mentioning that. I've created an online film school boot camp as well, too. And this actually, it helps young filmmakers, aspiring filmmakers between the ages of 10 to 17. And it teaches them the 6 fundamentals that I broke down: screenwriting, directing, cinematography, producing, lighting, and post-production. And it just helps any young filmmaker get the basic fundamental skills of filmmaking before they go off to like a technical school or learn some other skills later on in life. Just helps them get started.
They'll be a step ahead when they get there. Hey everyone, behind me is the Trauma booth. If you know anything about Lloyd Kaufman and Toxie, then you know what I'm talking about. I wonder if these guys are going to talk to us. We'll find out. And if you're interested...
All broadcasting cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message.
Wow. Oh my God, this is too much. Whoa, hello, Toxie, look who's here. Look who's here. Where's Fernando? Where is Fernando? I don't understand. Trauma, come and meet Babette Bombshell, star of the new Trauma movie, Return to Newcomb High. And Barbara Walters right here. I mean, no, it's the Toxic Avenger. Sorry, I made a little mistake. How can we help you?
We're rocking with Toxie.
Well, the takeaway I had from the MegaCon panel, and having the honor to be on the MegaCon panel, is there are many, many male filmmakers. There was not one female on that panel. I'm the only one that had breasts on that panel. And I really think that MegaCon ought to be slightly more non-male. We say gyno filmmakers. And I've written a very important essay. You can find it under Lloyd's Roids on my fan site, www.lloydkaufman.com. Gynophobia, and it's about how the horror community, which pretends it's so hip and so cool, there are hardly any female movie directors. There are virtually 1 or 2, Allison Anders and me. I have breasts. Other than that, but I think that for me was the takeaway. There were 9 people on that panel, not one non-male, although I'm a gay married man. So, and Babette Bombshell is right here. Babette Bombshell, tell us a little bit from the woman's point of view, filmmaking. What is your advice?
It's very difficult. My advice is to get on the casting couch as much as possible. Make sure that the lens is focused in and the lens cap's off.
Now, have you been in any films recently, Babette Bombshell?
Yes, I have. I just got through filming The Return to the Class of Newcomb High, where I was the principal villain, quite literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
And who directed that movie?
An erudite, lovely gentleman by the name of Lloyd Kaufman.
Wow!
I can't believe it. I couldn't believe it the whole time it was happening.
Now, I've heard, Babette Bombshell, that Return to Newcomb High is an event movie in 2 volumes.
2 volumes. And at first, I was opposed to that because I like as much of me per square inch of celluloid as possible. But then I thought about it, Lloyd, and I thought, that means he'll use every single scene I'm in, and you'll get to enjoy more of me.
Wow, give him a hand. Give Babette Bombshell a hand. And the Toxic Avenger is here. Toxie is the only movie in the history of cinema in which a young boy's head is squashed by the wheel of an automobile that was made into an environmentally correct children's Saturday morning cartoon show. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Big hand.
Only in America.
Big hand for Toxie. Toxie, hello. Big hand, Toxie. Big hand for Toxie.
That's a wrap here at MegaCon 2013 at the Orange County Convention Center. We had a great time, and thank you to all those who we got to speak to. See you next year.